the natural laws of movement, and as a biodynamic cranial osteopath, I've been studying for the last decade in how when the body's in a state of peace, it functions along a different tempo, and it seems to self-reorganise in a way that generates its own fire and its own stillness. The body, when it's in a state of healing, has its own language. It is actually decodable through our hands. It's pretty amazing that the body can reorganise itself and find its own remedies. And so we're going to dive deeper for the Pearl, and then as we dive deeper, we're going to be confronted with the mystery. And the mystery really sounds mysterious, but all it means is we're not in control anymore. So we're going to talk about how do we live with that, how do we deal with the fears that emerge, how do we deal with the limiting beliefs that come up as we start to ask for what we want. Because the moment we start to dream big, we've expanded vibrationally to that. And so the trick is then, toward the end of the talk, we're more then going to talk about, as we let go, what are the daily rituals, what are the things that we can do to stay lined up with feeling good, so that we're vibrationally a match to the very thing that we're asking for in the beginning, that we're wanting. Because we do have adult conditioning that says, oh sure, you want that, but you're not capable of getting that, or you're not worthy of that. And so we need to work out ways that we can manage that journey. Manage the mystery of that, how do we let go of control as we go along. And so at the end of the day, we're then just really waking up to who we are. So I want you to all stand up for a second. And what I want you to do is to imagine you're this white character here, okay? And you can all put your hands up. We're just going to give ourselves permission to do that. And I want you to all claim your life and say, I want you to just celebrate it, see, this painting here is really all about seeing your life as a panorama, that we've gone through our dark night of the soul, we've hit jagged rocks at different times, each day is a new possibility, that there's a dawning of a new day, and we continue to emerge through change. And then we aim for, this is Cupid's arrow, so we're looking for love in our life and all these things. And I just want you to really celebrate the whole duality of all of your life, okay? And I want you to ask for what you want. Say, I want this, I'm not getting this, and I deserve this in my life, okay? So we can all sit down now. And we started off with an intention of just really claiming something, okay? So we're trying to just access the power of, we ask for what we want, and we're vibrational beings. What we're going to be working on here is, think about what it is you really want and ask, how does it feel if I had that? And then feel that feeling of being in alignment. And that alignment, all that means is that you're actually in connection with your true self. I remember when I was a little kid, and as a young child, we've got access to the energy that creates worlds. We're here to create our reality. As children, I used to create a reality every single day. My cubby house was the talk of the neighbourhood, and we had access to that. There was nothing. I had no belief at all in my mind when I was a young little boy that I couldn't create something magical every single day. I would wake up at 6 a.m, and to the annoyance of my family, wanting to hammer new curtains in the underground, in the cubby house under the house, or, children have this amazing connection to their unconscious, and it's really about unearthing our wholeness. So, we're really just wanting to celebrate that capacity we have, and we all have access to the energy that creates worlds. And it's a vibrational reality for us. And the moment we ask, something bad happens in our life. The moment we get a bad condition, we have automatically, vibrationally, by contrast, developed a clarity around what we want. Every single bad condition, you cannot lose without a gain. And that's something else that I want you all to really get out of tonight's talk. The duality of life, the contrast of life, builds clarity. How can we have a bad condition in our life, and I do it all the time, something will happen in my life and I am challenged into considering how this is developing and helping me emerge into a much deeper clarity around who I am and what I represent and what is my greatest truth. And what I all want you to leave with tonight is when something really crappy is happening in your life, right, to see it as actually the part of the engine of life. Without it, the moment you decry what happens to you in your life, you are saying, I am putting this part of my life experience down that has actually got me into the newest, freshest place, that has developed a deeper hunger for what I'm after. It. Nothing quite like a bad condition to stimulate focus about what we need to do. Okay. This is me. This is that little kid in the cubby house. Now, you know what's amazing? Is that is a little badge of Puffing Billy. It's like, it's just such a connection for me, just that journey, And one doorway back to your wholeness is, think about, how do you speak to that part of you? If a child is struggling to walk, do you say, oh, get up, you shouldn't be doing that. No, you encourage it. And I want you to all consider, look into your eyes, get a photo of yourself when you're a little kid. Think about the things that you're passionate about, the things that you really love to do, the things that connected you back to your aliveness. I mean, this seminar is sort of a living, breathing example, not only of the big dream for me, to attracting a tribe of people who want to find the magic in their lives as well. But it's also about nourishing people as a whole and helping people connect back to their wholeness, and feel your kindness, feel your softness. We're really wanting to reconnect back with our core gifts, back to what makes us really authentic, back to what really grounds us in who we really are. Because the reality is that whatever you're focusing on in your life, and we're going to talk about this more at the end of the seminar, but whatever you're focusing on is your point of attraction in the present moment for generating a momentum. And Matt was talking about this idea of momentum building from choices. And I want you all to start to see the daily choice of reframing the difficult struggles in your life as the basis for clarity. But not only that, looking into the eyes of this child is really about reconnecting with an unconditional acceptance of who you are, no matter what's going on in your adult life, saying, I am worth it, and I am valuable. And out of my struggles, I am starting to more deeply connect with the essence of who I am. And regardless of what's happening in my life, I am unconditionally accepting of who I am and where I am on the path. Okay? Because this is something that's so important, is the idea of unconditionally loving your life, warts and all, with all the issues in it, not just liking it for when the going is good. I mean, I'll just share a personal story. I think for 15 years, I kept my life really safe. I was seeing 50 to 60 clients a week. I had my dog, who I deeply loved. I had no life balance. I was focused purely on my practice. And all of that was a security. And I saw a psychoanalyst for 15 years who I deeply love. And honestly, she died 3 years ago. And her presence is really here with me tonight. she really taught me to never love your inner child, never leave your inner child, sorry. And I mean, there was so much about my relationship with her that I deeply, deeply treasure, and I just, channel her in the room to support me and be with me here to help, to create some, offer you advice. But I can't think what I was going to say. Anyway, let's move on to the next slide. So if you're going to choose, yeah, right.
Sorry, you were talking about how you had a safety motivation.
Yeah, my life was really constrained and everything was fine. I was so mega busy in my practice. Everything was great. I had sort of, all the money in the world that I needed to do whatever I needed to do. And I realised that I created such a safety net that I never had to challenge what it was to unconditionally accept myself in the midst of, I'm not saying I didn't have struggles, I mean I did, but I kept my life safe. And so I never learned the fine tuning and the skills required to unconditionally love myself when the going got tough. When I started to really share the wholeness of who I am. And then what happened was I started to drop into periods of uncertainty. I thought, wow, my life's changing. How do I then accept myself when I don't have the same safety net I had then? And what it's done, it's launched me into this diving deeper to find who I am. And this diving deeper to say, can I develop some skills around unconditionally, not saying I'm valuable because everything's going well, but when something's not going well, can I somehow develop some skills around surrendering to that, diving deeper and focusing in more on my value, and then developing some other skills, which is an entirely bigger, different life thing. It's amazing. So the only way that this has happened for me is for my life to have challenged me. Otherwise, I'm conditionally loving myself the whole time, and then people get to 60 and then they have a midlife crisis or they completely lose the plot. Whereas thankfully, I'm